starting with prepping his hair for the bald cap. So this is bald, bald head.
Okay.
So I'm just flattening the hair around his ears.
Okay.
When you're dealing with long hair, like yours, not hitting anything,
No.
you would pull it in a ponytail, tie it here and run it out the back of the cap. But for him, all I need to do is flatten the hair around the edge so that I can put it on.
So the model with the long hair, do you like make a ponytail?
Make a ponytail
and then
and glue the cap right around the ponytail, and it just goes under their clothes.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is put a little protection on his skin. This is a product called Top Guard Skin Barrier. And it puts a seal on the skin to help protect from the glue.
Okay. So do you apply it like all
Around the edge where I'm going to put the glue for the bald cap. This is Pros Aid Adhesive.
What is this?
It's an acrylic adhesive. It's glue.
A glue. So you would put it
I'm going to put it on the face and then put the bald cap on.
Okay. Is this the one that lick it? Are you
This one?
trying? Yeah. Are you gonna put it this one? Okay.
It's a little bit big, this one.
これ大きいんだそうです。
Look, no blood. The glue was dry before I started. It's a contact adhesive, meaning that it's dry and you just press into it.
Oh, okay.
So the actor shows up and we do this. That takes a day.
Oh, that one?
Then we sculpt. That can take 2 or 3 days. Then we make molds. That can take another couple of days. Then we run foam. That can take another couple of days. So ultimately it can be as much as 10 days to sometimes months if you're building full bodies.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in the way American TV works, we don't often get a lot of time. So sometimes you're doing what would be 10 days worth of work in 2 or 3 days. It's very rough, and you're working very long hours. Television is very hard to work in. Film, you have more time to finesse things. So I'm not going to worry too much about the edge of this. It gets hidden under a lot of the prosthetic. So, very good. Now I'm going to put a little bit of wax, just plain old beeswax, into his eyebrows to protect his eyebrows from the glue. So the importance of custom building is that each little edge falls exactly into place on his face. Whereas if it wasn't custom built for him, that might not happen. Push it all in. Now I'm using alcohol to flatten the edges down.
Does alcohol works as a glue?
No, it's not acting as a glue. It's kind of hard to explain. The Prozaid, when it's dry, is sticky. Alcohol makes it slippery. And then when the alcohol evaporates, it's sticky again. So I can use the alcohol on the brush to flatten things and move them. And then when it evaporates, it sticks.
Wait a minute.
I thought
The
that might be
glue
complicated.
is, when the glue dries,
It's sticky.
it becomes sticky.
Right.
And then alcohol is...
Makes it slippery.
Oh, slippery.
So that I can move things around. And then when it's dry, it sticks again.
顔のその部分に合わない場合はもうどうにかして伸ばしたりとか切ったりとかなんかこう折ったりとかなんとかしてその形に合わせるようにもうやるんですって。はい。そのマスクって使い捨てなんですか？ Is it like a reusable?
No.
Only one time.
The little tiny edges, they're very, very, very thin. When you take it off, they tear.
Okay.
So the next time round, you can't blend it in because it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. Also, the removers we use tend to destroy the appliances. They make them go gummy.
I see. So it's only one time.
So one time only. Now there's an exception, of course, to every rule, and it is possible to take it off and reuse it, but it's generally not a good thing. So.
How much does it cost to custom made?
It can be very expensive. You can be anywhere from, what would you say the range is? About 5,000 to about 30,000, depending on how big you're building.
Okay.
Mind you, that's the money I would charge. The money for them to make it is much cheaper. I mean, if you're making it yourself.
Who's going to pay?
The producers of the movie, the producers of the TV show.
And then even though it costs that much money, it's just, like for only one time?
Well, it costs that much money to make it. It would then be maybe $100 each time. The pieces, once they're made, that's about $100 to run. But making the molds and the 10 days time, that's what costs the $10,000.
So even though they, you put the prosthetic makeup every day, when they film.
Yes.
So every day. So they have to make a lot of pieces, right? Because it cannot be used.
One for every day.
Oh wow.
So if he works 30 days in the movie, you need at least 30 of these, maybe 35.
Okay.
So you're safe, you're protected. This is a big face piece. It sits like that. So we're going to do that.
そういう悪い影響はあるそうです。で、この糊がちょっと私説明してちょっと専門用語でちょっとよく分からなかったんですけども。
I think I might need you to smile. Yeah, do that.
ここで今笑ってくださいって言ってました。笑ってくれないとつけられないんですって。
I know that's torturous. There's a reason. You'll understand why he's smiling in a minute.
なんで笑ってもらわなきゃいけないかっていうのもうすぐ多分その理由がわかると思います。
He has some very big teeth, and I have to have the mouth more or less in the shape that it's going to be in when the teeth are in.
So he has a big teeth, so you have to...
So I need it stretched, like the teeth would make it, in order to put it in the right place.
Oh.
And the reason that I'm using Q-tips is because the glue can dry in your brushes and destroy your brushes, so Q-tips are easier.
Remove everything?
Depending on how big the makeup is, an hour is sort of standard.
Hours? 1 hour?
1 hour, yeah.
Oh, okay. そうです。だから朝の3時に集まってメイクアップを始めて7時にメイクアップが終わってそこから撮影が始まってそれ12時間でその後 取るのに何時間かかるんですかって言ったら、まあ大体そのどのぐらいたくさんメイクするかにもよるんですけど1時間だからものすごく長い時間働くからものすごいハードなって俳優さんにとってもものすごいハードです。
Okay, now I finished with the gluing, and I'm going to start blending the edge into the skin. In this case, I'm using Duo, which is rubber, just straight rubber, with an orange sponge to give some texture and to help blend.
Is it rubber?
Just latex.
Okay.
To compare it
The
to.
thing about wearing a piece like this is at this stage it feels like there's something heavy there, but within an hour or so you forget you've got it on,
Oh.
and it just sort of
Just get used
becomes
to it?
natural, yeah.
Oh.
5年モデルやってるんですよね。
この人のモデル。
慣れないもんなんです
はい。
やっぱ仕事をする上で他の仕事役の人とかとのチームワークとか大事ですか？
今やってるのはなんかちょっとこの髪の毛の上にかぶせたこのマスクっていうかそれの端っこの部分がまだ少し見えるので皮膚との境が見えるのでその部分にWhat is this? What is this like made of?
It is the adhesive Prozaid, one you wrote down before, Prozaid, with a powder called Cab-O-Sil, CAB-O-SIL, which is a fumed silica. So we're getting into chemicals. It's kind of hard to describe.
Okay.
But it's really a thickener. It's just made for thickening things.
Okay.
Where is it? There it is. I've torn the sponge, so I've got texture, and I'm using water to thin down the paint.
So why did you tear the sponge? To make a
pattern.
pattern.
See how it's all broken when I stipple
Okay.
it? Because it's difficult to remove, I like to use regular foundation type grease around the eyes and the ears, so it makes it a lot easier to clean up.
だからこの絵の具すごく取りにくいので目の周りとか Is it like the sensitive area?
Yes, yeah, the skin is so thin it's very hard to remove. So.
水 Is it water resistant?
Which, this or
The makeup, like in
the
the
Pax is water resistant. This is grease, so grease and water don't mix, but it's more affected by water than the Pax would be. But the glues and everything, yes, sweat will break it down. But it's more the salt in the sweat than it is the water that really affects us.
Salt and water?
Salt in the sweat.
Oh, okay.
So now we're starting to get that sort of bruised tone that I was looking for. This is actually how I would probably go about making bruises or making a corpse makeup if I wanted lividity bruising.
Looks like a green.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, all of the little painting techniques that you can use to help disguise the edges and draw attention away from your joins and your blends, veins crossing over lines and things, are very helpful. But This is part of disguising the work and making it look like skin. This makeup was a reworking of a very old movie, and it was my version of that monster's makeup, but I don't think they'd ever have seen it. So they have no frame of reference for it. It was a movie called London After Midnight, and 1931 maybe.
1931?
Yeah, and it was all done with wax and putty, and it's a very old-fashioned makeup, and I redid it. I redesigned it for a trade show, for the Makeup Artists and Hairstylists trade show last year. So I was working from a concept, but it's not exactly the same.
So you just created, you just
I did my own
designed
thing, my own version of
based
that.
based on that the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's him. That's Todd right there.
Yeah.
この人に限ってなんですかとか、それとも他のアーティストも含めて。
例えば特殊メイクができたら普通の綺麗なメイクができるとかそういう意味じゃなくて、なんか特殊メイクができたらなんかこうありたい、こういう